Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Steletsy with another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition casted Deathmatch series. This time we're looking at Team Kr1lle, named after this player here, and Team Market First. So, question is, do they really build a Market First in Deathmatch? I really doubt that, since that would probably end really badly, since there's no military application to it. So either way though, here we are with the start of the series. We got Kr1lle as the Romans, his ally is playing as the Celts. On the other side we got the Saracens and the Britons. Right now we're viewing Kr1lle and his Romans, building lots of barracks, lots of castles, and some siege workshops. Remember, this is Deathmatch. You start the game with a lot of resources, so you gotta put them to good use and start building a ton of foundations right away. Else your opponent will completely swamp and cook you right at the start of the game, which you don't want. Right, so starting out with some halberdiers here, because of course the enemy is going to charge you right away with their scout unit, usually a hussar or a light cav. So you can pop that real easy with some pole arms, and that should be good. I think the comp here of barracks, castle, siege workshop plays heavily into the Romans, since in many ways they're really just an infantry and siege civ, right? Scorps combined with infantry. And then over here we got the Saracens attacking with camels. Lots and lots of camels, since the Saracen ones have more HP on them. To boot, down over here is the Celts, trying to set up their defenses. They got siege workshops, barracks, and castles. Kind of similar to their ally, the Romans, but a bit different, since Celtic infantry moves faster, and their siege units have a lot of perks to them. You know, they have more HP, and they shoot faster too. So going siege infantry is usually what you want to do when you're the Celts. So that's why we're seeing a lot of those things coming together here. But the camels are causing a bit of an issue, targeting the vills. We do see some scorpions coming up as a defensive measure here. And then over here we see the Britons getting set up as well. Using castles and barracks right now. Barracks for champions and halberdiers, and then the castles for the longbowmen, of course. Right, as you know, the Britons have a lot of range on their archer units, so that's usually what you want to go with them, right? Super long-range archer units protected by infantry. And now we see a big mass of Celtic champions taking on the Briton ones, and I think it's going to be a pretty easy win, since the Celtic ones just move a bit faster around and can outmaneuver the Briton ones. Oh, we even see some Woad Raiders coming out too. Where are these castles going for the Romans? So they're going to put a castle here and a castle there. I see they already got their trebs up over there. Got some heavy scorps rolling in too. Just note when you see the Romans that they can spam heavy scorp for quite a while. It's because about 60% of their gold cost is actually cut off, so they're practically almost as affordable as a champion in terms of gold, at least realistically speaking. So yeah, quite a good unit to use, I think. Right, yep, we also see some centurions there as well, which when combined with the legionaries helps them to attack faster. But yeah, on their own, Centurions can be a great cavalry unit, so I definitely recommend you do them on their own as well. That being said, we do see some halberdiers here to fight the heavy camels. We do see some Mamluks though, probably as a measure to fight the Centurions and to attack the siege with. Right, we do see some Roman archers there, and what's going on here? So this is a Saracen forward base position on the gold mines. Yep, on this map, you got lots of gold mines and stone in the center, so you really see a lot of fighting around this sort of circle here. That's usually what ends up happening there, because the person that obviously gets the most stone and gold out of the center is going to rely a lot less on their trade, and they can focus more on their military production later into the match, which is great. Good micro there by the Saracen with the siege archers to take out all the halberdiers. As you know, the Saracens get that technology counterweights, which actually adds more attack to their siege archers, thus allowing them to do even more damage than usual. Now that basically exposes the trebs and the archers here to the Mamluks, as well as the Saracen siege archers as well. We do see the trebs actually successfully take out an archer, but it doesn't deal with this one though. It's coming right at him. Alright, and what do we see from Britons? So Britons are going to attack the middle with an army of champions, it looks like. These will do a lot of siege damage and taking out castles and all the enemy structures, basically. Yeah, looks like, looks to me that the Kr1lle Woad Raiders actually stopped this castle from getting finished by targeting the Vill, which I think is really good. But now the Celts seem to be retreating out now that the champions are in there. And now we see Centurions trying to fight heavy camels. I think you know who's going to win that one. Probably the camels. Nope, not the camels because there was too few of them. But still, they honestly probably did a lot of damage in general. Alright, now we see Halberdiers combining with the Centurions at this position. And now they're going to try to fight off the Mamluks, it looks like. Yeah. Siege Onagers go into the middle to protect the TC and the castles and make sure everything goes up on time. Trebuchets setting up over here with the Longbowmen, it looks like. Seems like the Market First team is getting a good setup here, honestly. I mean, look, they got already 3 castles here. They got Trebs working on the Keld one. Siege Onagers pushing out from this side. They're holding the center mighty well right now. I would be worried if I was the enemy team about actually defending my base at this point because, yeah, now they're forced to literally build a further back castle back here now. Who knows if this thing will even stand at this point. Yep, and now we see Trebes targeting Trebes, yeah. And then Longbowmen attacking the infantry as well. Very good. Let's see what happens. Looks like the Mamluks are going to start slicing into the Celtic infantry, but then they decide to pull out. And probably go after the Celtic Trebs over here. Yeah, just use the Siege Onagers. Siege Onagers will do a lot better here. Yeah, just use the Mamluks to fight the Celtic infantry so the Siege Onagers get more time to take out those siege engines. Is I think what you want to do there. But unfortunately, again, the Celtic infantry has faster movement speed, so they have a lot easier time just running in there and attacking your stuff compared to your average infantry. Romans push with the Celts towards the castles, it looks like, but the Longbowmen just taking so many snipes on everything. It's, like, really good. But they will have to retreat, though, since the Scorps are riding on them now. Good thing is you got longbows, so you could technically get a pretty good range on those Scorps. And kind of reduce as much damage as possible from their shoot-through damage. And now we see Siege Onagers trying to push out again on this side with the Mamluks. Is in position to target the Roman Trebs, it looks like. Yep. We see Trebes going into... Oh wow, look at those Trebs taking some real damage there. That's insane. And now the Mamluks are attacking the villas, it looks like. Very good. Very nice. Alright, and now we see... Oh wow, look at the using the vills to attack the Celtic siege rams. Good stall tactic until your units can get down there to fight them. Yeah, until you can get the Mamluks in to do the easy snipe on them now. Exactly what you need there, very good. Should be able to salvage that castle. Oh wow, look at the rams attacking this Treb. They got the Treb down. They got the Treb down. That's pretty big. It's a pretty big loss, honestly, yeah. So what now? It looks like Celts trying to push in again on the side here with their siege engines and some road raiders. Seems like that's happening right now. It looks like the Roman and Celtic team is starting to trade now along this trade route from up here all the way to down here. We do not see any sort of trade yet between the Saracen and the Bryn player, mainly because there's really no need to when you control this giant lion share of the middle. That's basically why that's the case. And now we see trebuchets targeting the siege engines again. Longbowmen need to do a good job at basically dealing with the siege onagers, since if they get too close, you're going to lose a lot of units from that. So you have to make sure that... Yeah, look at this micro. Still lost a few of them, but not as bad. Like, you need to be really on top of micro in your longbowmen against those siege engines. Did a fairly good job because he only had a few of them shaved off the side, but still, just make sure you always micro those things. Longbowmen backing up, making sure they don't get hit by the onager now. And looks like these Bryn onagers are trying to take out the rams from range. Saracen one's also trying to help out a bit as well. Oh boy, taking out a longbowman there. Let's see if these onagers can take a push onto that Treb now. And let's see what the Saracens do on this side. So they are preparing to fight some... Oh boy, got a bit fragged there by your own onager, which is unfortunate. And now we see the Mamluks trying to slice through all the helbs. Siege onagers should just start targeting that TC. Yep. You can get that TC down. Maybe you can start pushing towards the castle over here. Very good. And Trebs can start shooting onto the siege workshops now. Very nice. Just wait for that to finish, and then they can push onto this castle next. Oh man, look at that. Look at that right there. Siege Archers target the TC right now, and move these Trebs in to start pushing onto the castles. Back over here, we see the Trebuchets targeting the siege workshops. Seems like Saracen and Bryn team is pushing in really well right now. They're actually so confident in their position that they're going to start constructing some forward castles to hold the position down. Maybe get some Trebs a bit further up in Mamluks. So yeah, Romans and Kelp. Yep, GG. Basically, when you got the two players banana split like that, I think it's kind of hard for you to keep continuing and justifying the fight. But still a good attempt. Still a good attempt. Let's check out the post-game stuff here. So this is the score. Military. Economy. Technology. And society. Right? That was definitely a good first game. Now we're going to go on to the next one over here. Game number 2. Let's boot that one up right now. And see what this one has to offer for us. So, from the looks of it, we got the Bulgarians on each team, and then one team has Teutons, and another one has the Saracens on it. Not the Turks. I saw the crescent moon and thought of Islam and thought of the Arabs. I'm like, no, that's the Turks. My bad. Okay, so basically here it looks like the Teutons are setting up barracks, castle, probably siege workshop, I can imagine. Right, and it looks like the Bulgarians here are going to set up barracks. Again, the Krepos. Oh, nice. Get the Krepos. Basically, they're like little mini castles that can make your unique unit, pretty much. So, yeah, they're like little mini castles that don't cost as much stone as a full-blown castle, basically. And then over here on the other side, we got the Turks setting up archery ranges, stables, anything else. Probably... Oh, market first. Team market first. They're setting up a market first. I see a market there. That's what they do. I see an actual market there. They weren't even kidding with the market first name. Definitely not. So Turks will spam out heavy camels, it looks like. And their ally there, the Bulgarians, will do their cavaliers. As you know, Bulgarian cavaliers attacks faster, so quite a good unit indeed to be using. On this side, though, I think we're probably going to see... Well, it looks like we're already seeing Konniks from the Bulgarian. Looks to be two-handed swordsman Halbs. And then their ally here, the Teutons, is doing Halbs and Paladins. Right? Yep, between all these civs here, the Teutons are the only one that can actually make fully blown Paladins. So that's probably why they're going to do that. Just be wary of the heavy camels and make sure that your Halbs are right on top of them, though. Else you'll burn through a lot of gold very quickly, which you don't want to do. Right, so Teuton Castle did get finished, and now the castle can actually start to pelt some arrows into all that cavalry, which is great. And now the Bulgarian has like 1,000,000 Krepos up right now, just to deal with all those cavaliers. So far, so good, it looks like, for defense. Yep, all the villas are still healthy and building. And over here, we see Krepos coming up for the blue Bulgarians. We also see a siege workshop. Barracks and stables are still working. Sort of doing help with Cavalier right now. And we're seeing a bit of a... Oh, wow, we're seeing a Krepos out at this position, though, to protect this tree line here, which I think is a pretty good move to do. Yep. Looks like the Turks are already getting their markets set up, it looks like. And the Bulgarians, again, their blue Bulgarians are getting their markets up there right now, too. Seems like this team is also getting their market set up, but there is a blue Bulgarian cavalier trying to slice into that market right now. So they might need to get like a Halb there or something to fight that, because you definitely don't want your market getting sniped in the middle of trade. It's very frustrating and annoying, trust me. Oh, interesting. We see Turks doing heavy cav archer. Heavy cav archers for the Turks actually have more HP, so yeah, it's generally a good choice for the Turks to do. Cav archers should do a pretty okay job against the Kr1lle, I think, right? Yep, they seem to be focusing them down really well, even as they turn into their infantry phase. But yeah, you're going to want to back up with those heavy Cav archers and try not to waste too many of them now. We see what looks to be the that's the Bulgarian siege archers combined with halberdiers, it looks like. And they're going to be backing up the heavy Cav archers here. Look, notice how they're fishing in the Kr1lle, because these are a gold heavy unit. So the best thing you can do, lure them into a trap, right? A bunch of pole arms with some archers. That's a great way to shred a bunch of Kr1lle down very quickly, right? And now we see what looks to be the Teuton's halberdiers coming in to try to push them back, though. So there's going to have to be a little bit of micro here between the archers and the heavy Cav archers to actually deal with all those halberdiers. And we also see a major push of paladins from the Teuton's player going right into the Turks' position, actually going to potentially prevent these siege workshops from going up. Well, at least most of them. It looks like one has already gone up. A second one is almost ready to go up. And what else is going on here? It looks like heavy Cav archers are trying to retreat and fight all this infantry stuff going on right now. So they're probably going to try to avoid as much damage as possible. Because there are a big charge of paladins there, it does force the Turks to make some more heavy camels, it looks like. And they're just reassessing their position, right? Because obviously, if you're pushing in too deep and you're having paladins charging past their position to attack your siege, there's not much you can do about holding, the entire push down. So, yeah, you have to sort of fall back, make sure you can hold this ground and not have Cav running around targeting your production. And then you can start pushing out, right? That being said, though, it looks like the Turks are getting their bomb cannons out. And as you know, the Turkish bomb cannons actually have more range on because of the artillery tech. So these bomb cannons are going to be phenomenal for sniping structures like castles, Kr1lle, and other buildings from a very long, safe range, where archers and infantry can work together to sort of keep them from going down, basically. Now we see what looks to be the Teuton siege archers starting to push onto the siege workshops of the blue Bulgarian player. Kr1lle coming in to attack the blue Bulgarian siege archers too. But a big mass of halberdiers is ready for them and ready to start pounding right on top of them. Right, Teuton's pushing in again with the paladins, trying to attack the heavy Cav archers. But some of the Bulgarian allied halberdiers do come to save them, though, and get rid of some of the heat from them. Turkish castle goes up right over here, right next to the other one they did. This is the main one, though. This is going to be the significant one. As you know, in Age of Empires 2, buildings that are built on a higher elevation will actually deal more damage to units underneath. And that's the case for just regular units in general. The higher elevation your unit has, the more damage it's going to do to stuff underneath, pretty much, right? So now we see the heavy Cav archers starting to target onto the units. Oh, whoa, 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 look at that. Look at these onagers getting to work here. Look at that insane stuff. Whoa, these onagers are doing pretty good. Yeah, big time. I think he just fragged his own paladin. Did you see that? He just fragged his own paladins. He just wiped a bunch of them out. I'm sure he was not too pleased with that. He was like, man, Paladin's one of the most expensive gold units you can think of other than siege. Yeah, you really want to be blowing them up with your own siege weapons and fragging them. That's really bad. Oh, it is. It's totally bad. Oh man, whoa, 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 what's going on here? We got the red Bulgaria going in with Kr1lle and siege rams, attacking the trade. Whoa, look at that. That's a very cheeky move right there, I think. Oh yeah, that's going to make a huge difference, because if you can get this trade down, that's going to cut off the gold supply to the Turk and the blue Bulgarian player. And it's going to mean that you're going to be able to push in with stronger troops while they're trying to cope with just trash, basically. Oh yeah. These Turkish heavy Cav archers are working once again, trying to avoid the siege archer. That one clearly died, but the rest of them are alright. Oh boy, look at this. Look at that aim with the siege archer. Basically taking out a whole bunch of stuff. Ooh, oh, yep. Get that right there. Just make sure that you back up a bit, right? Try not to get hit by too much Kr1lle, I think. It's the name of the game here. Now we see siege archers taking out the castle. They'll be able to take out the Kr1lle. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's their Kr1lle. That's the one they're trying to build. So hopefully they can get a villager down there to get that finish. It looks like they got some over here from a nearby TC. Should be doable. Oh, man. The trade is gone. They destroyed the trade network here. Not to boot, the Kr1lle are attacking the villagers now, so they can't even come up to build that again. Oh, man. That's a big, big problem. It's a big, big problem, especially since these guys have like a full, vibrant trade route with no sort of issues yet. Looks like it might make a difference, though, since we're not seeing any more substantial push yet from the Turk and the Blue Bulgarian yet. It might give the Bulgarians and the Tuns a bit of time to come up with some maybe trebs or bomb cans and just start shredding through the castle, the siege workshops there, and move on to the TCs. Yeah. Is the trade back, or... Trade is... Yeah, the trade has been moved to over here, it looks like, so it had to be moved further down, which in the long haul is going to affect their amounts of gold until these markets can be finished again. Which it looks like they will be now, but more Kr1lle are coming, though, to try to disrupt it. If they made it a little bit sooner, I think probably they could have, you know, done something there, but I guess not in that situation. Definitely not. Let's see there. Kr1lle is almost down. Very good. Castle going up over here. Castle going up in this spot. Very good. Oh man, look at that. Ooh boy, good targeting there from the Augers on that side. Very good targeting. Turkish heavy camels trying to push onto their position here. And yeah, it looks like so far they got a pretty good stronghold going on over here. They're just going to have to make sure they push back on this castle on that side. Finally, with two castles here, the trade can actually be protected and everything. But oh, look out. It looks like the Tuns are sneaking up from the side here to attack this castle and might push onto this position. They're already raiding with paladins and halberdiers, though. They're already making some significant headway in that area. So there is a good chance maybe Team Kr1lle does actually take this one. Just because it seems like, in general, they've gotten successful raids on both sides of the trade route almost. And now they're starting to push significant structures like the castles out of there. So I don't know what to say about this one. Putting up a castle there is probably a good idea. I mean, it's not the best one since cavalry can still sort of come down here and do stuff, but it's something. It's definitely taking advantage of the higher elevation for the troops underneath, which I think is the most important thing you're probably looking at there. What's going on this side? So now we see the Blue Bulgarian castle. They're all alone, sort of trying to deal with staying up in the face of all this crazy pressure going on, yeah. Trebs do come up there and start sieging away at that castle down there. Looks like that castle will go down. Very good. And we do see halberdiers starting to push now. Yep, very good. Oh man, look at that. Insane. Bomb cans. Bomb cans with the artillery tech. Very nice. Lots of extra range. So far, they're doing a phenomenal job at targeting the siege archers, but one of them does actually hit the furthest out cannon, while the others still remain to start pushing on things. Looks like the Turk might need to do some special targeting to hit that archer, though, since it's doing a good job at strafing to the side. Alright, so now we're going to see bomb cans try to target the Trebs. Very good. And now, what are we going to see now? We got Kr1lle being halberdiers there, and halberdiers especially being the Kr1lle. Siege archers are making some good headway in targeting the Trebs, which is going to stop the push for now and allow them to maybe push in a bit better over there, I think. What's going on down here, though? We saw before there was a lot of chaos down here, and it looks like it's starting up again. We got a big army of Trebs starting to blast all those castles down. Looks like at least one of them's going to go down from the looks of it. And yeah, I mean, now we're seeing siege archers go in and blast apart those universities. Halberdiers coming in to protect against the Turkish cavalry. How much HP are we on for this castle? Castle is looking about close to being toast, yeah. Very scary indeed. Just wait for that castle to get completely finished and it should be good. Oh man, look at that. Insane. Siege Archers trying to protect against all of that stuff there. Very nice. Castle. That castle's been around for a while now. Look at all the villas that have been repairing that thing. Literally insane. Like, I'm very shocked that that Turk has been able to keep that castle sitting for that long there. Wow. I'm just trying to see when that thing's finally going to go down, if it goes down. I think at some point all the tuna acid. Oh boy! Oh no! Look, he's got the bomb cans there blasting the archers. That's horrible. That's horrible. He can't push in with those now, so he has to kind of wait to move in at all with those things. Going in with the halberdiers now to attack the trade carts and actually start to maybe disrupt some of the villas head on. Seems like. And what about over here? We see what looks to be a forward. Like, remember before this was all green and blues territory. Now this is red. So the red is also making some progress over there, it looks like. Yep, we actually see red bring a few connects down here too to help their Tuan ally start to push on the Turkish position. But the Turks are continuing to try to resist with heavy cav archers and heavy camels. Lots of things that are indeed heavy, right? Oh man, look at this. Now the Turks are still repairing this castle successfully, still keeping up with the stone for it. And then we see Trebs continuing to push even deeper onto that castle there. Very nice. And siege archers, yep, trying to cut right into those fills there, yep. As well as those military units. Oh, Janissaries. We're seeing Janis now. The Janissaries are out. Yep, Janissaries can do quite a bit of damage in groups, so I think it's an okay investment at this point. Does take it out, though. Oh man, and now he's targeting that castle again. Yep. He is making sure to micro to make sure that he resumes the repair as soon as it gets damaged again. And what's going on here? We see Kr1lle trying to break through this. Looks to be a wall. It looks like the Blue Bulgaria set up two workshops side by side here to sort of act like a wall between this cliff and this tree line. Really good wall without a wall, basically. And now we see the Tuan Trebs really picking up speed here on that castle. I feel like now the castle is going to be targeted and taken out. And then we'll see them move on to the other castle next. It should be a really nice push. Good, take that bomb can out and move the Trebs over to this position now. Very nice. Let's see here. So now it looks like the Trebbies are going to push onto this castle. It looks like this is going to be the real weak spot of this team. Of the green and blue team, the market first team. This is going to be where everything falls apart. Because now the castle's being ripped out, and now you're going to have lots of cavalry and other stuff coming down here to target all these markets. And I think with this much of an army presence, you're going to struggle to hold this now, because you got so much action down here. You can't just go in and build those markets up again. Yeah, green resigned. Yep, GG. They just called it. Yep, I knew once this position, once the castles were out, it was already sort of over at that point, yeah. Basically. So let's look at the post-game stuff. So we got the score here, military, economy, technology, and society. Very nice statistics overall. And now we're going to go into the next one. Let's go into game number 3 up here. Looking forward to this one. I see a lot of friendly faces in terms of civs. So let's see what this one offers us now. Loading, loading, loading. Some more loading. Alright. So, yeah, we got the Incas in this spot. We also got their ally here, the Saracens, in that spot. Over here we got the Mongols, and then up here we got the Byzantines. Alright. So what are we going to see here? So it looks like Eagle's going across to attack those villas, and then the Hussar will go over here to attack these villas. And what are they building exactly? So it looks like Saracen's going to do stables for heavy camels. We got castles for Mamluks and Trebs. Probably going to see some archery ranges or something along those lines too, probably. Looks like the Inca is doing barracks, castles, maybe archery range. And probably some siege too, right? Yep. And over here we see Mongols set up castle, stable. Just one stable for now, just to defend the area with heavy camels. And then they're probably going to want lots of these castles, you know. Basically, you want a lot of castles with the Mongols because their signature unit, the Mangudai, is there. A very fast-firing cav archer with the bonuses against siege weapons. So yeah, it's really the most renowned unit for the Mongols, basically, is their Mangudai. They literally make you actually die, like on the battlefield, of course, yeah. Do we see it? Yep, we do see the siege workshops coming up. That's another critical part of the Mongol strategy, is siege weapons that move faster, so they can maneuver a bit better, especially when it comes to archers, fighting archers and stuff. The Byzantine gets stables set up for right now with lots of camels. It's pretty good since Byzantine camels are cheaper, as well as their halberdiers and their skirms, so that should be a really good benefit for them. And yeah, look at all these Saracen camels moving on the Mongols' position. Overall, the Saracen camels are going to be better than the Mongol ones, since the Saracen ones have more HP on them. So they'll statistically, camel on camel action will do better, yeah. What wasn't good was letting that archer just get a free snipe on you, though. I guess since the Mongol siege weapons moves a bit faster, I guess that's something that they can do. Like sneak up on you with an archer shot and just take off towards the base, yep. Now we see camels fighting halberdiers, it looks like. The Inca is also doing some kamyuks. They have some long-range melee to fight the stuff with, too. And now we see what looks to be the Saracens trying to position themselves well here with their camels and let their villagers get this castle done in this position. Castles should allow the Saracen to come up here with some Trebs and also pull out some Mamluks potentially. And then we see castle number 2 come up in the top side here as well. So, already seeing a bit of a forward base from the Saracens. Yep. Mostly messing up the camels for the Saracens. They mostly want to go in when they feel like they have a big group. But definitely not big enough of a group for the archers to really get a gain on you. Right, so right now it seems like Camel's main job, go in for the archers and just take those out pretty much. Very good. Cataphracts targeting the Kamyuks, it looks like. Very nice. Castles over here, holding up a decent wall for these Mangudai to stay out. Always the fun part of this map is the fact that you're almost encouraged to do this 1 versus 1 because you got this huge batch of trees around here to basically make it super impossible for you to go across to help your ally out. You have to go like all the way around, like ring around the rosy just to help them. So you're basically all on your own here and pushing or defending your position, it looks like. So there we see camels making a move again on the Mongol cavalry. But some of them do pull back because they know they're not going to be able to go for a full push until those castles are out of there. That being said, both Saracen and Mongol trebuchets are coming out. The Saracen ones have more damage because of counterweights, and then the Mongol ones just move a bit faster into position. Mamluk's doing a good job to try to avoid the Mongol heavy camels early on. And then they can sit back and sort of fling their scimitars into them and get some extra damage out. Yep, Mamluk's doing a good job taking out all those Mangudai, and now we see the Trebs starting to make a move onto the Mongol castle there, it seems like. Very nice. Oh boy, look at that. Castle is going to go down, I believe. I think you got enough Trebs there to make it happen, so we'll see that happen very shortly. And over on this side, oh man, look at all these Trebs here from... Oh wow, from the Incas. Are they going to get any of those? Unfortunately, the cataphracts are right on top of them, though, so no. The problem with dealing with cataphracts is not only do they have bonuses against infantry, but they also have splash attacks. So if you have like a big wall of trebuchets like that, it only takes a handful of cataphracts to actually clean them up rather quickly in seconds. It's really that easy, basically, yeah. Now we see trebuchets trying to target the castle there. Yep. Now we see onagers trying to position against the enemy ones. Inca ones doing a great job against the biz ones. And so we're seeing a third castle coming up here for the Saracen player. Got a castle in the middle, a castle at the top, and a castle at the bottom. Siege Workshop's also going up as well. Siege Onager 1 against 5. Now, if you're smart with your Saracen one, you could definitely get a good shot in and maybe take out multiple of the Mongol ones. It's just going to be harder since, again, they move faster than the average ones do. Inca's moving to some Arbalesters as well to target the cataphracts, it seems like. Seems pretty fair, you know. You got to remember that Byzantine cataphracts actually receive less bonus damage. So having a few archers in there to just be raw damage against the cataphracts is probably something worth looking into, honestly, in combination with the spearmen. Oh wow, look at the Mongol player using his extra statted hussars there to try to make a move onto the trebs. Pretty smart idea, but since there's so many castles here, it looks like they was basically thwarted almost entirely, yeah. Just looks like he has to position that treb up there and start getting that targeting at that spot. Looks like Saracen camels take out one treb, takes out the other treb. Yep, quite a big move there, honestly. Mamluks can target the siege onagers, right? Yeah, he's trying to micro them away from their volley. Helped a little bit, but not too much. Treb, oh, good treb shot. That was a beautiful shot. Did you see how accurate that was? That was great. Now we see that the Mamluks are doing an okay job at holding back the Mangudai for now. And over here we see a huge mass of halberdiers and Arbs starting to mass up against the Byzantines again. I think the most potential for a push through would probably be on this side with Kr1lle blasting through sniper, basically. Notice that the villagers are trying to repair this castle now, so it's going to take a bit longer potentially for the Saracen to break through with that position. Mamluks are going to want to push up, yep, and tag the siege onagers head on there. Oh boy, look at that. Good shot by the Mongol onagers and their speed. Heavy camels trying to push onto the Mangudai again, it looks like. Yep. Very good. Oh, we're having that wonderful capture age error again, so guess what we're going to do? We're going to close out this crazy thing and we're going to watch it from Age of Empires 2 for the rest of the match, and then we'll boot up capture age again for game number 3 there, yeah. Let's wait for this to keep going. Okay, very good. So where are we at right now? So right now we're seeing Incas continue to push at this position. I'll get the fog of war off so we can see. Okay, so from the looks of it, we're seeing camels still continuing to push onto the siege there and trying to make a real advance, yeah, pretty much. And now we see Trebbies trying to attack the Mongol positions at the siege workshop. They think the siege workshop should be targetable. Let's see if they can get the stable as well. Very nice. Very good. Take that out. Very nice. More camels, very nice. Up, he's already taunting. Oh man, look at that castle wipe out there by the Mongol. The Mongols starting to push back now. Look at this. Look at this counter. Some of the Kr1lles came across too to help out. This is a huge power spike right here. Look at these Kr1lles. Completely meat shielding against the camels now. Giving the Mongols times to set up their trebs to attack the last Saracen castle in the area. Oh boy, this is pretty big. I mean, this turned around so much. Because now that this castle's gone, all you have to do is break through these, break through 2 castles here, and they're already at the trade route down here now. So that was like a huge loss. Just having a few Byzantine Kr1lles come down because the Byzantines have so far been pretty good at holding against the Incas. Yeah, this is going to be a huge... oh boy. Yep, sending Kr1lle more gold, it looks like, so he can try to defend. I don't know if he can defend, though. That's a good question. I don't think he can defend here. Oh, man, yeah, see, the Mongols bringing the siege rams, too, which is even worse. Because the siege rams are definitely going to get that castle down. Or at least mostly down, right? They're definitely distracting the camels long enough for the trebs to do the rest of the work. But now we got Mangudai. Potentially they can come and shoot at the vills, too. Trying to repair it and everything. Yep, looks like the castle is down now. Very good. Beautiful, beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. Let's get Capture Age open again, and we will go into the last game of the series. Let me boot the application up here. Look it up in my... let me see here. It's not... There it is. It just showed up. Very good. Let's boot this up. And we should be able to continue from there. Very nice. It goes into this weird phase where it loads up the game we were just in, and then we just say watch more. And then from there we should be able to find the last game, which is up here. Yep. Let's boot this one up right now. See what it's all about. I see some fun civs there. I see Sicilians, Franks, Hindustanis, and Teutons. I'm looking forward to this. I am. So it looks like Teutons are setting up barracks, getting some houses down. They're also going to get some stables for paladins, probably. What is the Hindustanis going to do? So they're going stable for the Imperial camels. Very good choice. Probably we're going to see some like siege workshop, archery range, castles as well at some point. What are we seeing from the Franks? So the Franks are going to do barracks and stables. I mean, stables is an obvious choice if you're the Franks because your paladins spam out a lot faster. Also, your paladins will have more HP too than the average knight line. So, yeah, overall that's a pretty solid option for somebody pushing out. And then over here on this side, we see the Sicilian going with barracks. Again, the castle down too. More barracks over here. We also see a donjon as well to make some sergeants out of. Basically, donjons are, again, sort of almost like the Kr1lle. They're like little mini castles that can make your unique unit. So you can make your sergeants out there. Decent melee unit, pretty much. Go up against stuff with. So what we got here? So we got Franks just spamming the paladin button at the stable, which is pretty obvious. I remember seeing this thing in the description there, right? Basically, somebody mentioned that this was against the rules to build these sort of stone walls to block people out, but they did by accident. And they said it didn't impact the match at all. So it seems like so far it hasn't impacted the match that much because the players sort of trying to get around this area anyways. So I don't really think they want to go through here anyhow. So yeah, it's alright. It's alright, you know. I don't think you need a spanky for it. Yeah, hopefully you don't need a spanky for it. Donjons. I called them donjons. No, they're sergeants. Sergeants fighting the Imperial camels. Imperial camels now going to push on the Franks. I think this is the situation that the Franks should have been worried about. Because basically, guess what? Imperial camels are basically just camel paladins, right? Most civs that you know can only do the heavy camel, which is like only one upgrade. But the Indians get the Imperial camels, so they get instead of camel cavaliers, they get camel paladins, really. On top of that, the Hindustani camels also attack faster too, so they get a whole nother bonus as well, working in their favor. So they're a really formidable anti-cavalry destroying machine, pretty much. So you definitely don't want to deal with Imperial camels at that point. Yeah, quite a powerful thing to come after you. Looks like the Sicilian is getting up some real castles here, it seems like. And what else? What else are we seeing here? So it looks like Imperial camels coming to try to save the Tuin's base from the Paladins coming in now. Pretty smart idea, honestly. Franks are going to add in some more castles as well. And then they're going to try to probably get some... Well, what they got? They got Paladins, Infantry, and Siege right now, the Trebs. We might see some Throwing Axemen, who knows? Sometimes Throwing Axemen can be good in some situations. I don't know if they'll be good here, but maybe. Doing an okay job trying to hold back the Imperial Camels from raiding stuff, which I think is pretty important. Over on this side, we see, yep, more Halberdiers, Paladins from the Tuin player. No siege yet. No. Well, we got. Is that nope. No siege workshops yet. So no launchers, no bomb cans, nothing of the like. Oh, we got our first Throwing Axemen from the Franks. It looks like on this side. Yep. Very good. Using against the Imperial Camels, I see. Now, who's going to push on who is the question. It seems like Franks are technically going for a push here, but I don't know if they'll be able to hold. We'll have to see. Paladins are going to make a push on that last camel and get their forward base set up here. We have siege workshops and a castle. Look at that lone Treb up there, getting completely swamped and surrounded. That's never good. And so now we got Paladins trying to fight through Paladins. Yeah, Paladins fighting Paladins. That's always something. Now we got Halberdiers trying to hold the line against all that stuff. Let's see if these Trebs can survive here against all this oncoming Tuin stuff. It's always hard to fight the Tuin units since the Tuin infantry and cavalry has more armor. So, yeah, whichever way you look at it, basically it's always going to be a pain fighting against melee units that the Tuins are making. Looks like these Paladins here are actually looking for some trade. Luckily, though, the markets are up here, though, so it's kind of good, you know. If the markets were sort of over here, then they would have some problems, but since they're right up against the edge of the map like that, it works out kind of well for them. And so now we got Halberdiers trying to fight through all the cav there, basically. Teutonic Knights. Oh yeah, that's actually a really good choice by the Tuin player. Do some Teutonic Knights. Since Teutonic Knights have a very high pack armor or melee armor, that means that they can tank the Halbs, they can tank the Paladins, they can even tank the Throwing Axemen, because Throwing Axemen deal hack damage, not pierce damage. So basically a good way to completely destroy the Franks, just make a bunch of Teutonic Knights and run on their position. You'll literally force them onto siege or hand cannoneers just to deal with that. Which it looks like this Frank player doesn't even have. He doesn't even have archery ranges for cannoneers. Doesn't have a more siege workshop. So this is a really nice window. If you're the Tuins, just run in with a bunch of Teutonic Knights and siege and stuff. And there's not much that they can do there. No, not at all. I would go in right now with all those Teutonic Knights and make it happen. Exactly. Exactly what I would do. Looks like the Tuin siege lodgers will get a TC down, as well as building a castle up at this position. How deep would they have to go to attack the trade and cut through that base? Well, it seems like they're making some headway. They are making some real headway. They've got the Trebs in the position to start attacking stuff. Attacking that town center over there, and then they'll probably start pushing at the nearby castle after that. From the looks of it. Throwing Axeman doing a good job against all those units there. And over here, Sicilian's starting to push onto the Hindustani castle position there, it looks like. Looks like that castle is being sieged pretty well over there. It's a bit of a different dynamic. It seems like on this side, Hindustanis are struggling, and on this side, it seems like the Franks are being pushed back. Right. See some siege workshops here built into the Hindustanis base, so potentially something to counter with there. Alright, so we see a bunch of vills coming down. They're going to like literally finish this castle right now and be able to hold this position. Yep, once the castle goes up, then you have to retreat like almost automatically, because all those arrows being pelted into your troops is not going to sustain very well for your army. So once the castle goes up, you know you got issues. Now we see a bunch of halberdiers making a move onto the paladins there in the siege. Actually, yeah, it looks like they might be pushing towards the Trebs as well, so they can protect their own castle, which I think would be a pretty smart idea at this point to do. Yep. Over here we see some damage, so a bit of raiding. Oh wow, trying to use a donjon up there, with probably built by the sergeants, just to target the trade carts. They are working though. Look at all the trade carts that are getting eliminated there. Oh man, look at, oh man, that was a lot of damage there that Kr1lle was doing. Oh yeah. Looks like though the Hindustanis are kind of coming down now too with their Imperial camels and might take out a few things, who knows. We'll have to see what ends up happening there. Oh man, look at how deep the Tuan infantry is going into the base. Basically fighting everything in the little crevices of the stables. Wow. It's really going to force Sicilians to come in with their halberdiers just to salvage the position. But we'll see if the Trebs can get the castles down. If the Trebs can get the castles down in the meantime, that would be a huge loss for the Franks' positioning here. And they would probably feel in a really tight noose right now. So we'll see if the Trebs can finish off the rest of those castles and keep moving in even deeper. Yeah. Looks like that castle on the right is definitely going down, and then the leftward one is probably going to fall in suit very quickly. Yep. Castle here is going to be taken out now. What's going on here with the Hindustanis? So Hindustanis looks like they are ready to start pushing back a little bit now, getting out some of those powerful hand cannoneers of theirs. Basically, Hindustani hand cannoneers actually get more range, making them a much better protective unit against infantry. So if you got a Sicilian here like doing a million of the sergeants, probably the best thing I would think of doing is having your Hindustani hand cannons ready, you know, because they'll be able to shoot them back from farther away. So when the sergeants do appear in front of your face, there's going to be a lot less of them to deal with, and a lot less cleanup work. But over here, it looks like Franks are technically defending right now. It does look like a castle might take out a stable, though, before that castle goes down. Treb's going to start targeting the castle there. Very good. Very nice. Look at those bomb cans trying to take out the orange one now. Very nice. Oh boy, look at that. Very nice. Yep, take that castle out there. Perfecto, perfecto. Yeah, castle's almost down, it looks like. Very nice. Oh no, Halbs and Paladins working together. That's a pretty deadly duo. Oh yeah, because the Halbs will shred the camels and then the Paladins will shred the Cannoneers. That's pretty deadly wombo combo there. But we gotta pay attention to what the Tuins are doing though. The Tuins could absolutely push back. Looks like they are. They're actually using their trebs to attack this castle right now. Oh yeah. Look at that right there. Oh boy, castle just went up. It's starting to blast right into the Archers. Man, that's pretty bad. Yep, they made it out just in time, but now looks like the melee stuff is starting to gang up on them. Yeah. We'll see if these throwing axes too can maybe threaten the Archers as well, which I think would be a pretty good thing to do actually. Yep. Very nice. Yep, and now we see the yep, Siege Archers trying to blast in that archer range there. Yep. What now? What's going on here positionally? So, oh wow, look, we see some Sicilian Cavaliers actually going in and playing a bunch of vills there. Not bad. Especially considering the Sicilian Cavaliers actually have some extra armor on them, so they're quite good at combat. Imperial Camels pushing in with the Tuin stuff to attack that castle there. Looks like they should be able to attack that castle, right? Oh man, whoa. Look at that good targeting with the Archer. Ooh. Ooh, denying the castle. Ooh, look at that. Castle completely cooked. Whoa, that was something there, yeah. That was really something great for the Tuin player. So now he can take that castle out at his pleasure at this point. Also has a trebuchet in the back doing that as well. Oh man, that's beautiful. Look at that stuff, yeah. Oh nice, the castle's down now. Oh man, the Imperial Camels are starting to push in now with that position there. Oh, look at that good micro with the bomb cans. Oh, gee. Yeah, look at that. Oh, nice. Almost. It seems like the Tuins are ready to start really pushing in again now, especially since the Hindustani is sending in some Imperial Camels to help clean up some of the Paladins for them. Good shot with the Archers there to attack the Frankish ones. Oh boy. Oh, Sicilian ones. Oh wow. Sicilian Siege Archers sneaking up there to try to push back, which it looked like it did a little bit, but yeah. Oh boy, looks like the Sicilians actually have both siege workshops and barracks established in this area now, which is really good positionally to do. Yep. Tuin Castle just goes up. Should be able to take out all the stuff in the nearby area there. We'll see if these castles can be pressured once again now. That'd be pretty big. Looks like at the very least you got a castle there to try to deal with a lot of these melee units coming in now. Trebuchet is starting to target onto the barracks there, it looks like, yep. Yeah, throwing axemen trying to hold the line here against camels, it looks like. Some of the Trebs do survive, though, so they will be able to continue sieging. Isn't a total pushback, it looks like. Over on this side, though, we see Imperial Camels trying to cut through everything, even the Halberdiers, which they shouldn't be doing, but whatever. There's some Trebuchets here, so they really don't have much of a choice, as well as that Siege Larger. Alright, so when are we going to see another two and push? So it looks like we got Halberdiers here, Trebs developing. Yeah, it looks like Green sent a little kitty face. Meow, meow, meow. Yep. And what do we got here? Looks like we got hand cannoneers trying to hold the line against the Halbs, which it looks like they should be able to do. Yep, very good. And yeah, we'll probably see either Gray really pushing in deep or Green trying to resist, I think, at this point. Yeah, the problem is there's just so many paladins being spammed by the Franks that even a wall of Halbs is not enough to keep your siege safe. Some of them still break through and start cutting through stuff, just like that siege launcher there. Yeah, makes it a total chaotic situation. Oh man, look at that! 200 IQ Teutons pushing the Halbs right up against the Trebs so that the Sicilian Trebs would frag them because he's not paying attention. That's the problem with having an ally with siege launchers behind your stuff. Because he's trying to fight on his own front, he's not going to pay attention to his own siege launchers, and he's going to end up fragging all of your stuff and eliminating it. So yeah, that's not good. And now we see the Trebs starting to make a move on all the launchers there. It's like they are able to take him out, so some pretty okay accuracy there. Now we're going to see a pushback from some more Toon units. We see Teutonic Knights as well as Halberdiers stand up over there, it seems like. Oh wow, look at that. Imperial Camels trying to push away from these Halbs now. Very nice. Alright, so now we see Halbs and Teutonic Knights trying to mass up here against the Franks, it looks like. Very nice. Alright, so we have Halberdiers trying to set up a defensive here against the Paladins. Yep. Okay, so Teuton siege launchers coming across the line here to attack the Sicilian ones because the Hindustanis don't get siege launchers is a pretty nice, smart move to do. Right, now we see some Ghulams coming in from the Hindustani player, looks like. Yeah. So that should be good against the infantry there. And the archers especially. Oh boy, we got a monastery set up all the way over here. There's a good chance it might get sniped, and then Tuins would lose their gold income from those relics once they're lost. So we'll see if that monastery ends up getting targeted at all. I think though, I don't know, do we have any trebs yet? We don't see any trebs at all. We don't see any sort of response to this. Well, we see one treb. We're going to need to see some more trebs if you're going to be able to hold that position down. That's about it, really. Like, was that like one Teutonic Knight coming to fight the Sicilians there? Why is it like one Teutonic Knight alone? It's like really weird. Oh boy, we see the Frankish paladins coming up as well to try to push at that position too. They're going way in deep against the Argers, against the Vils. Gonna approach the trade probably too. Man, that's pretty intense. Look at that stuff there. Very intense. Very intense stuff right there. Let's see if it goes for the trade at all. Right now they're just hitting the Vils, which is going to disrupt the food income, it looks like. But we'll see though, we'll see. Paladins do reach the trade. Will they take anything out though? Looks like they are potentially taking out 1 or 2 trade carts. Oh man, that's literally insane there. Very good. Look at all the trebs there trying to get this castle down. I think they should be able to take it out though, I think, yeah. Oh man, he ran out of stone. Oh boy, he just ran out of stone and he's gonna lose the castle. Wow, look at that. Literally being depleted of stone right there. Man, that is really bad stuff. Oh boy. I'm just trying to see if these trebs end up getting hit. Oh man. Okay, now the siege archers can actually push on them there. Yeah. But now we're seeing the unfortunate situation where the Sicilian has to micro on this side. And everything. This is like total chaos right now. And then we got Cavaliers and Paladins from Sicilians and the Franks sort of attacking all the trade carts now. Quite powerful stuff there. Oh man, this is brutal. Ugh. Oh boy. Ah! It's gonna get some melee into him. Looks like, yeah. Teutonic Knight's going to be a really good unit to clean up all that melee stuff. But do we see anything to deal with this, though? This line of trebs and archers? I really don't see anything here that's basically going to hold back against that. No. Not at all. Oh, so basically it seemed like the Teutons actually tried establishing a castle there to provide some assistance with the Teutonic Knights. But unfortunately that castle is down now, so I don't know what they're going to do there. Looks like another one is going to go right here. We're also getting some siege workshops down. It seems like, yep. Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know if this is game over for the Hindustanis or what's happening exactly. It's really tough to tell here what's going on. Seems like right now they're still sort of holding the position down, but they just have to deal with those trebs. Looks like they're going to be trying to fight them with Ghulams, since it's better than nothing at this point, especially since they're a fast unit that can sort of go in and start poking into all of them. Oh, wait, no, we got Teutonic Siege Archer there to try to fight the trebs. Okay, those are done now. Very good. Beautiful, beautiful. Very nice. Imperial Camels are going to be a great defense against all these Paladins. And it seems like this front is almost... Well, it's not dead. I actually do see some infantry being put over here now. So who knows what's going to happen. What if we see like another push like right here? Wait a sec. Oh, he's actually garrisoning some siege onagers. Look at that. Like a backup plan. So if something spurs up over there again, you already got the siege established there. Oh, that's pretty smart. I mean, it is going to down your 2 population that you could be using on the front lines, but still. It's good to have that backup plan in the back of your mind if you see Teutonic trebuchets coming down trying to blast through everything. Oh, definitely. It definitely is a good backup plan. Now we see Paladins trying to push in again on the Hindustanis and the Tunes position, it looks like. Yeah. Very nice. Oh, somebody's getting converted. Somebody's getting converted by a monk. Look at the monk. It's the monk. See the little green arrow on him? That means he's getting converted right there. He's getting load. Yep. Oh man, this is what I don't think I've ever seen monks be used in this before. No. He's trying to go in deeper with his monk. Oh man, he didn't get it in time. No. Oh boy, look at the Franks trying to get their position going, but now it looks like the Tuans were ready for him. Ready with archers and infantry to start pushing back on that castle there. Yep, archers, trebs are going to go right into the castle now. Yeah, that's a loss cause there, man. Oh yeah, that's not going to survive. That's not going to survive that. Both siege archers and trebs working on that thing. Yep, denied castle, Franks. I'm sorry to say. Now the push begins back over here now, right? Oh yeah, big time. And now we see siege onagers trying to push in with the trebs again, and the Franks building a sort of a protective wall against the camels. And now we see hand cannoneers potentially trying to come in as a range support with their high damage to allow the camels to push in deeper against that wall of trebs. Now we see bomb cannons coming in from the Hindustanis as well to try to blast apart some of these trebs from range, which is probably going to be your best bet right now since, the Hindustanis do not get siege onagers themselves. 2-in-1 is there too, but I'm a little bit worried on multiple fronts that potentially that Teutonic siege onager might end up blasting your own troops, like we saw earlier with the Sicilian ones sort of fragging their own allies. Yep, looks like siege onager goes down over there. Trebs are sort of focusing on the Sicilian stuff, it looks like. Yeah, taking out one of the barracks. Oh, they built a wall of universities too here to keep them out. Well, looks like that happened there. Now we see halberdiers and knights trying to fight the infantry, it looks like, yeah. Very nice. Alright, they can start moving on to those trebs now over there. Very nice. Paladin's doing a good job fighting all those infantry there. Very good. Okay. I'm just trying to see dynamics-wise how this battle's going to commence here. Because it seems like we're seeing both players competing on both sides of the map. Almost. It's not like a 1-to-1. It's a 2-on-2 on both like fronts here. Yeah, but you guys notice the little sneaky Sicilian siege launcher down there trying to help the ally out. Actually sniping apart this outpost here. So basically it won't allow the Teutons to see what's going on there anymore. Another Frank castle going up. Imperial camels attacking the vills. More collaboration to get that castle down there. Yep, looks like that castle should be going down very soon, yeah. Siege launchers can target over here under the trebs. Yep. Oh boy, look at that targeting of the paladins. Not bad at all. Very nice. This has been a pretty tight battle. It seems like nobody's really been able to puncture the other side at all. Like, it's a lot of back and forth here. We're seeing, like, Sicilians, like, not be able to move much beyond this position, and then Teutons consistently coming all the way down to here, again pushed back, and then going back and forth like a zigzag. This is, like, a really tough battle, I would say, to say the least. Oh, yeah. Big time. Absolutely. Unequivocally. And so now we see castle going up over here. Yep, very good. Imperial Camels attacking right onto the TC right away. Now, where does the push go from here? Like, what is protecting this trade route? I feel like if you're on the Toon team, you want to get this castle out, this one, and maybe this one. Like, get all of this stuff cleared, and then you can start going for the trade route down there. That's mainly what you want to do. But you got to be able to hold your ground long enough for it to happen. Yeah. So we do see the Toon player going for castle number 3 over here. We got a line of them over here, and now another one coming up over on this side. Also, camels hanging around here too to basically protect stuff even more. Yep, castle up right there. Very good. Looks like Teutonic Knights will try to defend against all that cavalry there. Very good. Trebuchets can start targeting onto these castles now. There. Wow, that's a lot of trebs. They might actually be able to push on this one. I think if we can get like through these castles here, including the Sicilian one, that's a good breakthrough that you're going to need to like push through this whole line, yeah. Oh wow, look, the castle on its own is already starting to disrupt the trade a bit. We're already starting to see some of the trade carts be disrupted by this castle. Oh man, damage is already being done to the trade. We're already starting to see some damage against the Kr1lle team there. Wow. The Market First team is really pushing in deep now. Yep, castle does go down. I don't know if they can hold on to the castle, though. Like, if they can hold on to this castle for a little bit longer and get some bills here to repair it, I think you're in okay shape there, defensive-wise, yeah. Nah, unfortunately, not enough, like, stronghold here to be able to get these trebs out, but still. Still, they got castles here doing good work. Still, they got castles that are doing good work, basically, yeah. Alright, so where are these trebs going to go now, though? So the trebs are going to potentially take a launch right into which position? So there's actually a castle right here, and it looks like they're just trying to break out now and start to blast through all those castles, yeah. Looks like the Capture Age application is starting to have some issues, so we will close it right now and continue to monitor the game through the regular thing. Yep, very good. Let me remove the Fog of War so we can see what's happening here. So right now we see Franks re-establishing their position with their hand cannoneers, paladins, and bomb cannons. Paladins are starting to slice and dice up the trebs, pushing the Toons back once again. Looks like this castle almost went down. Maybe if they can pull some trebs here, they can... Nah, there's too many vills there, so it looks like that castle is going to be a continued threat. Toon infantry mostly focusing on beating up through all those paladins there. Any movement here? It looks like it looks like on this side, Hindustanis are actually maybe pushing back a bit, yeah. Because I remember there was like production billings over here now, and it seems like the line has sort of been lengthened. The battlefield here is now a little bit wider now. Also, a barracks does go up over there. It looks like, yep, very good, very nice. And now we see more stuff pushing in, yeah, very good. Alright, so now we see what looks to be some Imperial Camels going in against these Paladins again. Probably trying to look to do any sort of damage they can, right? Taking out the mill, taking out these lumber camps. Trying to make it easier for the Tuins to take their infantry and start pushing onto these siege workshops and these stables, yeah. Paladins gonna try to slice and dice through all this cavalry there, very good. And what's going on over here? We see lumberjacks trying to cut this wood there. Very nice. Oh man, look at that. Look at the castle going down. That's the one that Franks was using to defend their position. Now that that's gone, now you could potentially get some paladins here to cut through all these archery ranges and destroy the line of hand cannoneers flanking you now. And then from there you can presume a push onto probably this position now here. I don't think you want to come all the way through here again. You probably just want to go through here, cut towards the markets in this direction, and just bleed the trade out, yeah. Once you start bleeding the trade, then the cogs in these guys is going to start slowing down. You notice here that the Frank is really, yep. Wow, the Frank just resigned. The Frank just resigned, man. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So let's just look for perspective what the timeline looked like in terms of overall stuff here. Yeah, so this is what the timeline looked like. Society, technology, economy, military, and score. Yeah, I think what ended up happening was I was looking at the score at the end. I noticed Franks were really falling behind. The one thing you gotta know about the Franks is while they can train their paladins faster, like really fast, and they got more HP on them, they don't get any discount on them. They don't get a discount on them at all. So yeah, it's not like the Cavaliers that the Polish get that have cheaper costs to them. No, it's like a full price thing. So eventually, if you keep tapping that stable too long, you're gonna just run out of all your gold and not know what to do. And I think when the Tuins placed their castle there and started spraying everybody's trade carts, that was just enough of an upset with the trade to make it so that the two Franks couldn't sustain paladin production anymore and had to pull. Yeah, I guess so. So, yeah, thank you for coming to this Cast a Game series for, you know, the Deathmatch. Signing off now from this one. See you in the next one that we end up doing. GG and well played. Both team Market First and Kr1lle.